Good evening, friends and neighbors. I'm Peter Ohtaki, and I'm serving as your mayor for this year. It's truly been a privilege, and this is the second time I've stood before you to report on the state of our great city. As mayor, I've had the pleasure of working with a fantastic group of city officials and staff. In particular, I'm proud to lead the city council, whose members are Vice Mayor Ray Mueller. There he is, I see him over there. And council members, I know I saw Kirsten. There she is. And Catherine Carlton and Rich Klein. It has been an honor to serve. Let me also recognize the great by city department and dedicated staff. Please here to stand, or if you're already standing, wave. Recognize. I particularly wish to thank our city manager, there he is, who is leaving us at the end of this month for the city of Ventura. He's made a great impact on our city, including exceptional leadership of the city's staff over the last 6.5 years. We're very sad to see him go, but we wish him well on his next endeavor. I also want to and thank the many city commissioners, many of whom are here tonight and who volunteer so much time to make Menlo Park better. So if you're on a commission or formerly served on a commission, just wave your hand. There we go. Thank you. Thank you so much. I also want to thank my wife and family for their support, as I've often been representing the city at meetings and events this year. Honey, it's date night tonight. There she is. And our anniversary is next week. Happy anniversary. We're also honored to have some special guests here with us tonight. I know we have a representative from Senator Jerry Hill's office as well, there she is, and a representative from Assembly Member Mark Berman as well here. And thank you for being with us. I saw Fire District Board Member Rob Solano here as well a little earlier, and also wanted to recognize the Menlo Park Chamber of Commerce CEO Fran Dean, as well as several board members, there she is, and several board members that I think are here tonight. And now I'd also like to welcome you all to the Park James Hotel. I want to thank everyone involved behind the scenes for making this event possible. I've known Jeff Pollock since 5th grade, through Lon Trotta Middle School and Woodside High School. And I'm proud that he built this world-class hotel in Menlo Park. Thank you for hosting us this evening. Tonight I'm honored to deliver the State of the City address. Man of few words, I'm very pleased to say the state of the city is strong. Okay, thanks everyone, good night. All right, seriously. Tonight is about coming together, on our progress, and looking forward to what is ahead. We must be flexible and innovative in how we approach our future needs. This is a unique opportunity to look at how we plan ahead for our community. Without a doubt, this is an exciting time for Menlo Park. I'd like to discuss our vision for the future of Menlo Park, our challenges, and finally, how to pay for needed infrastructure improvements. Rather than simply delivering a list of accomplishments, I'd rather vision for Menlo Park. Inclusive, family doesn't exactly rattle off smoothly, but all the bases. With documents including the El Camino Real downtown specific plan and the 2016 general plan and Bayfront zoning update, adopted after years of community meetings, sections of the city are now being revitalized. We fast-tracked approval of the new Guild Theater music venue this year, one of our top 6 priorities. And I'm looking forward to no longer hearing the term Menlo Dark. We're here tonight in the newly opened Park James Hotel, which was formerly a Shell station. And it's a beautiful boutique hotel that will be a key destination in our downtown. I cut the ribbon a few months ago, opening the Hotel Nia over near Martian 101, originally approved by voters in 2010. Construction has begun nearby on Station 1300, Menlo Gateway Phase 2, Facebook Building 22, and even Stanford's Middle Plaza apartments and office space. While the large Facebook Willow Village project will be reviewed next year, we held a study session earlier this year and recently brought together Facebook and the Sequoia Union High School District to help understand each other's plans. I also want to know that we have a vibrant life sciences area, biosciences, and a promising startup called Grail, so that all of our economic eggs are not just in the Facebook basket. Our Santa Cruz downtown appears to be doing better, to the point that we need to move forward on a downtown parking garage. We've begun to upgrade our land management software, which will enable online plan submission and review that will improve productivity and resident convenience. Community development is commencing the El Camino Real downtown specific plan biennial review, including development of a project work plan, budget, and contract services for potential plan amendments. And furthermore, community development will develop a work plan and conduct public outreach to update the zoning ordinance requirements for single-family residential development. And I know that's been something that a lot of folks have been looking for. So we know, as one of these, we definitely know that traffic is bad. It's pretty clear that these changes to our city are raising concerns about to manage the traffic. First of all, the traffic master plan, one of our top strategic blueprint for transportation improvements, but we'll update our transportation impact fee to fund these improvements. I want to thank all of you who have served on the TMP Oversight Committee and all of you who have attended and provided input to the workshops this year. The city's Safe Routes to Schools program, another of our top 6 goals, recently launched to make it safer for our kids to get to and from school through training, driver awareness, and options. Bike lanes on Oak Grove and Santa Cruz Avenues enable our kids to cross Menlo Park safely, and bike lanes on Middle Avenue are coming soon. Our staff held workshops this year on the bike pedestrian underpass, which will connect Middle Plaza to Burgess Park. And with Stanford's $5 million contribution toward the underpass, we must move this project to design stage next year. 80% of our traffic on our major avenues, El Camino, Willow, Bayfront, Sand Hill, are traffic that does not start or end in Menlo Park. It is the job growth in the Mid-Peninsula that has generated traffic gridlock in our city, caused cut-through traffic in our neighborhoods, and made it difficult to get across town in under 30 minutes. So we need to make improvements to our transportation infrastructure to fix these gridlocked areas. As an example, we reached consensus this year on our application to the county for a single grade separation, which is a Ravenswood Avenue underpass of the Caltrain tracks. It is vitally important that we get this design application into the county for funding. This Ravenswood underpass will help alleviate the congestion at El Camino and Ravenswood, the busiest intersection in our downtown, where over 50% of our crosstown traffic goes. In our recent response to the Stamford General Use Plan, EIR, we are demanding that Stamford pay for improvements to the Sand Hill Road corridor, including Santa Cruz and Alameda. We learned last year that strategically placed no through traffic and no right turn signs were effective in minimizing cut-through traffic in the Willows. A key aspect is that we now know how to inform Google and Waze. So this year, we applied that to Belhaven. And next year, other sections of the city, such as Allied Arts, might benefit from this approach. We launched last month the Peninsula Bike Way in partnership with Mountain View, Palo Alto, and Redwood City. The partnership is focused on building a bike infrastructure to connect the 4 cities and eventually the entire Peninsula region. The project is the brainchild of the Managers Mobility Partnership, a collaboration between the 4 cities and Stanford University with support from joint venture Silicon Valley to address transportation challenges in the region. The city was selected for Optimized Traffic Flow Pilot Project. Did I get that right, Justin? Okay. The Optimized Urban Traffic, OUT, Pilot Project will be deployed in Menlo Park to optimize traffic flow along Marsh Road, Bayfront Expressway, and Willow Road, east of 101. Public Works obtained grant funding to synchronize traffic signals on Willow, Marsh, and Bayfront Expressways. Adaptive systems allow traffic signals to adapt to real-time traffic conditions, and this will help ease congestion during peak commute times along 3 of the city's highest travel corridors, which will not only help the regional traffic, but also the local traffic. And finally, in the transportation standpoint, I wanted to mention Dumbarton Rail is moving forward with the passage of RM3 back last June, and hopefully with the passage of Measure W that will help to provide funding to get that started. We have many East Bay cities now support the Dumbarton Corridor project, as well as Facebook. So let's now talk about housing. Nearly 1,400 apartment units have recently opened or are under construction in Menlo Park, many of which were allowed under the housing element we worked on back in 2013, the last time I was mayor. That's how long it takes to build housing. But we are catching up on our jobs housing mix. Prior to 777 Hamilton, the last apartment buildings built in Menlo Park were in the 1970s in Sharon Heights. This year, we modified our ordinances so that rental housing will now include at least 15% affordable apartments as well. Mid-Penn is building affordable housing on 1300 Willow, similar to the beautiful Sequoia Belhaven senior housing nearby that opened last year. We adopted this year an anti-discrimination ordinance to prohibit discrimination based on the source of a person's income or use of rental subsidies. So now let's talk about some fun stuff. Quality of life, parks, libraries. So on January 15th, I was pleased to rename Marketplace Park after Mr. Carl E. Clark, a longtime Belhaven resident and decorated World War II veteran. Thanks to Belhaven Action, the Parks and Recreation Commission, and the City Council for their support of this. One of the Council's goals The Parks and Recreation Facilities Master Plan is underway and scheduled to be completed at the beginning of 2019. Community Services held a workshop last night on the park playground replacement. Unanimously, moving forward with the space needs study for a new Belhaven library, long overdue. The current Belhaven carpeting and shelving, new furniture and interior paint, replacement of soiled ceiling tiles and ventilation covers, new window covering, signage, and additional DVDs for the collection. You can see the pictures. The City Council additional week for the branch library and an additional half full-time staff. Library staff spent a lot of time, which will now be on the back burner for a variety of reasons, but we want to thank Mr. Arriaga for his generous offer and ask him to stay tuned as we proceed on the Belhaven Library. Construction has commenced of public restrooms at Jack Lau Park, another project that is long overdue. Based on success of the one-year pilot to maintain 4 city parks without the use of herbicides, City Council authorized funding for the expansion of the herbicide-free park program to include all city parks and facility grounds. In May, we adopted a water system master plan to create a roadmap for operations identified and capital improvement needs. Public Works also completed construction of a new police communications antenna, which improves the city's emergency communications system. We planted a tree at Upper Laurel School on Arbor Day with the mayor of Galway, our sister city, to commemorate a tree exchange that took place between the two cities in 1963. As mayor, I got a chance to teach kids about earthquake preparedness with the fire district at student assemblies at both the Lower and Upper Laurel schools during the spring. And I also had the Cities Committee selected a delegation of Menlo Park teenagers to visit Bizen, our friendship city in Japan, in July. I had the honor of joining them for a few days to meet Bizen's Mayor Tahara and practicing what little Japanese that I can speak. So now let's talk about environmental sustainability. This year, we continue to be at the forefront of environmental sustainability. I'm proud of the sustainability measures that are incorporated into the city's general plan update: LEED Gold, renewable Peninsula clean energy, recycled water for irrigation, EV chargers, among others. And we are implementing zero waste standards post-occupancy in the Bayfront, in the larger buildings. We are also revamping the city's sustainable purchasing practices that include increasing the number of cleaner vehicles in our city fleet, including 4 new hybrid police patrol vehicles. We are installing more EV charging stations at City Hall to support a transition to a cleaner vehicle fleet. The council also approved a citywide electric vehicle charging station ordinance for new construction that is expected to be adopted soon. In addition, the council approved undertaking an analysis to identify existing gaps in EV charging infrastructure in the community and identify opportunities or programs to close the gap that is preventing a higher uptake of EV purchases. In addition, there's a new program underway to phase in making city-owned and operated facilities zero waste compliant to set an example such as transportation engineering. I'd like to ask you all again to thank the staff for their hard work this year. Prioritize comparable staff, commute and health benefits, and other ways that are not personable. At Tuesday night's council meeting, we outlined our city manager transition plan with Alex's departure. Our council will move quickly to interview and hire an interim city with our HR team to in November as well. Council, when seated in December, can be able to guide the search firm requirement in January, goal of hiring a new city manager in the spring. I'd also like to talk briefly about Belhaven. I think it's exciting that we on the city council from Belhaven starting in December. I hope that all the council members general created expectations for amenities and solutions that have been too going around them without seeing the benefits they were expecting. So as a result, we must fast track the Belhaven Library and encourage Facebook to build the long-needed grocery store first in Willow Village. And as I've mentioned before, now is the time with the robust economy that we address the education inequality in Belhaven relative to the rest of Menlo Park. Thank you. It's not a simple neighborhood association, but we must continue to demand change. Talk about the city's finances and how I think we can pay for these infrastructure improvements we've talked about this evening. Your city continues to be in a secure financial position with a AAA credit rating, while nearby cities are facing the burden of CalPERS pension costs that are increasing faster than property tax revenues. Our finance staff implemented a new 10-year forecast this year, which uses uncertainty modeling. It runs 1,000 scenarios using known information, such as past revenue collections and growth rates, upcoming changes based on negotiated agreements, and unknown information, such as timing, length, severity of an economic downturn, hotel tax growth rates, to develop a best guess outcome, which is a weighted average of all 1,000 trials. And that is our base case 10-year forecast, which shows not only balanced budgets, but a $2 million net revenue surplus even after CalPERS rate increases. This forecast is in the adopted budget document. I then asked our very capable finance team to layer in the additional property and hotel tax revenues from the fiscal impact analysis from the general. I'm sure you all remember reading the fiscal impact analysis, right? To the bar. Me, numbers tell a story. To parties much. But the general plan fiscal impact analysis forecast, combined with our base case, about $5.5 million surplus each year over the coming decade. Back one slide, that would be great. There we go. The revenue line is the stacked bar chart. The dotted line is the net revenue, which is the surplus line. So I'd like to recommend that the next city council allow potential surplus to fund the amendment that we've talked about tonight in a prioritized strategic financial plan. It will also help us help as background in discussions and funding that comes out of the public benefit formula established in the general plan update, which is not included in these numbers. We have an unprecedented opportunity that few cities have to fund and prioritize our infrastructure over the next years. So if you look at the bottom, the idea is this is meant to be illustrative, this is going to be up for policymakers to work on this, but the surpluses will generate. Let's prioritize the projects like the Belhaven Library, the under train track crossing, and help to move them forward. Without long-term strategic financial planning, what I fear is that in June each year, when the fiscal year surplus is known, that the City Council will earmark funds in an ad hoc fashion to whatever project is ready, instead of ensuring that the highest priority projects will have funding. So as concluding remarks, I'm sure you're all happy there. Fellow residents, what I've highlighted tonight has been and is possible because of collaboration among community members through commissions, workshops, council, and city staff. The city's accomplishments are your accomplishments, and we thank you for your participation and input each year. We are confronting important issues and challenges in our city in ways that other governments at other levels and other places have not, because we value community-driven solutions. Our community continues to thrive. Our vision is a Menlo Park that is vibrant, innovative, inclusive, family-friendly, and environmentally sustainable community to live, work, and play. President John Kennedy said in 1963, "I look forward to an America which will not be afraid of grace and beauty, which will protect the beauty of our natural environment, which will preserve the great old American houses and squares and parks of our national past, and which will build handsome and balanced cities for our future." We continue to see our residents volunteer their time and energy to make our neighborhoods stronger and better. Only together can we build the future that is clearly within our reach. I am excited at all that still lies ahead. So thank you very much, and have a great Menlo Park evening. Thanks.